Grandpa Manny's Matzah Mayseh, a matzah baking review. Erev Pesach in the home of Mama and Pupa Shmura, and Grandpa Manny is babysitting the little ones so that their parents can finish preparing for the Chag.
Grandpa Manny,
Little Shmerel squeaked eagerly.
tell us more of those stories about when you were just a little stalk of wheat. And tell us about the ride you had on the big tractor,
added Breckle, jumping up and down.
and how you got radled,
said little Kitnit, her eyes widening in awe. Hold on there, said their smiling grandfather, his kindly eyes glazing over with crumbs. You make it all sound like such an adventure. You know, I guess it was. When I was little, and I was just a little skinny stalk growing in a field, I never dreamt that I would grow up to be a kosher Pesach hen shmura matzah. I don't know why I didn't suffer the same fate as my buddies, Horowitz and Margaretten, who ended up as whole wheat bread. But one day, as I was waving in the wind, I heard a loud sound like a big engine. I looked up, and there was a huge tractor. They called it a combine. And on the tippy top of it was a man. He was talking to a second man. He said, finally, just the right time to harvest the wheat, late enough to store well, but early enough so that it hasn't started to sprout, and not a cloud in the sky. And what he said next would stay with me for the rest of my life.
What was it? Asked the three little ones,
hardly daring to breathe. L'shem matzah mitzvah, their grandfather roared. They were harvesting me for the sake of the mitzvah of matzah at the Seder. Literally swept me off my feet. I must have fainted, because when I woke up, I was in a very dark room. I wondered who turned out the lights. But before I could get scared, Max the Mashgiach poked his head in and said, Everyone nice and dry? No one's thinking of sprouting, are you? I said, Wouldn't dream of it. He said, No more cracks out of you. I could see that we had the same sense of humor. Finally, the big day came. They came for us and checked us out again and took us on a trip. I asked Max, "We going someplace new?" He said, "Same old grind." That is when I came into the full flower of my youth. They ground me up in a kosher for Pesach grinder.
Didn't that hurt?
No more than a nice massage. The really fun part was yet to come. When the time was right, they took me out of the bag of flour and mixed me with special water that had been drawn the day before. They called that mayim shelonu, that rested, not our water. And then they started the clock from 18 minutes. Then I was rolled and flattened. It was the best diet you ever saw. And they poked me over and over and made me very, very holy. Shematzah's mitzvah, they were saying. It was hard not to smile because it tickled so much. And those holes would make sure that I would bake right. Air pockets give me gas. Boy, was that oven hot. I was done in way under the 18-minute limit. Of course, I didn't have a beard yet. Someday, maybe you will be full-fledged Shmura Matzot and help people fulfill the mitzvah at the Seder too.
Wow.
In the meantime, Just remember, L'shem Matzah's mitzvah! L'shem Matzah's mitzvah!